Man, what a great day we're having. I just don't have the energy to just go out and just play with all my friends outside in this nice ass weather. I'd rather just be sitting in bed and reading some good old quality Shonen Jump. I mean, you guys, you can't go wrong with Jump. Jump is the way to go. And even my friend recommended me this movie, which to me, the main character on the cover looks like a total gay faggot, and then the back is just as gay as the front. So, I mean, in my opinion, this movie just is probably going to be complete dog shit. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sad6782 here to bring you guys an anime movie review of Gintama the movie, or known in Japan as Gintama Shinyaku Benizakura. Yeah. Try saying that 4 times fast. Gintama the movie is a 2010 theatrical remake of the Benizakura arc in the Gintama anime. With that being said, I highly recommend watching the original Benizakura arc in the anime before watching this movie, because in this movie there are certain characters and scenes that were not even in the original anime version of the Benizakura arc, or hell, even in the manga. So if you watch this movie first and then eventually decide to watch the Benizakura arc in the anime, then you're going to be a tad bit confused, because like I said, there's new scenes and characters that weren't even present in the original arc. So the main gist of this movie is that Gintoki gets a request to find this missing sword called the Benizakura, or the Cherry Blossom in English. And it's considered as, you know, the most powerful sword ever created in all of Edo. And if it ends up in the wrong hands, then I'm just going to say that Edo is going to be completely screwed, because whoever wields it, they're technically invincible, and they would probably use the power of the Cherry Blossom to wage war against Edo and make it their own and all that other stuff. On top of that, Gintoki also has to solve the mystery revolving around the disappearance of this guy named Katsura. And for anyone who hasn't seen the Benizakura arc in the anime, or read it in the manga, or let alone this movie, it gets explained how Katsura ends up missing. In this movie, we literally see how Katsura gets missing in the first 5 to 7 minutes of the film, while in the anime and manga, that's literally how the Benizakura arc starts out. The arc literally starts out by, witnessing how Katsura went missing. The animation in this movie was superb, and I didn't expect anything less from Sunrise. There was really no bits of bad animation in this movie at all. The animation just stayed constantly good. As far as the actual movie is concerned, I thought this was a fantastic theatrical adaptation of the Benizakura arc. I had to give this movie a score. I give this movie a 10 out of 10, because honestly, there wasn't anything in this movie that I personally did not like. Like, everything was pretty much fine. I enjoyed the movie from start to finish. As far as the dub is concerned, the dub is kind of mixed in my opinion. Like, there are some voices that are just perfect, while there's, some voices that are just meh, and then me personally, there's just one voice that honestly did not match the character at all. Like, it literally did not. And that person who I'm referring to is Shinpachi. Like, in the dub, Shinpachi just sounds like, and it just sounds like an annoying ass 30-year-old. Which, Shinpachi, he's an annoying character anyway, but just, I would think his English voice would be, someone that would make him sound like, like an actual 16 to 17-year-old, but just, I mean, it's not even bad acting. I think it was just mainly just a bad casting decision on Sentai's part. Like, I honestly do not understand how they could have possibly cast, that guy. I don't remember his name exactly, but I'm just gonna say that was Shinpachi's voice was a complete miscast in my opinion. As far as everyone else's dub voice is concerned, I pretty much enjoyed everyone else's performance. Chris Patton as Gintoki was excellent. Lucy Christian as Lucy Christian as Kagura pretty much was on point. It felt pretty much the same as the Japanese performance, which I think is done by Kagura's Japanese voice actor is Rie Kurumiya, who's pretty much known for doing their characters. But anyway, but yeah, the dub so far, apart from Shinpachi's voice, wasn't really half bad, considering the fact this is the first time Gintama has been dubbed, ever. So, yeah, and I also want to briefly mention two voices that pretty much stood out in my opinion. I thought I pretty much enjoyed those performances a little bit better than the Japanese. Mainly Catherine, who's also voiced by Lucy Christian, and just like, oh my, it pretty much like, I gotta give Lucy Christian some props, man. Like that. Oh my god, it was pretty much. It's like she was born to be Catherine. Like, I'm not even joking. More so than Kagura. Like, it literally, because it was so. Her performance as Catherine was so believable. Like, it's just like, it's like fucking. Oh man, like, just I gotta give props to Lucy Christian, man. Just fucking Catherine's English voice is for the father. Catherine's English voice for the motherfucking win. And then also we got another voice that I pretty much thought that pretty much stood out in my opinion was Takasugi's voice, which I believe he's voiced by Kyle Jones, who also happens to be the ADR, the voice director of this movie. So and yeah, and just it was really, I don't know why some other people thought it was okay, but honestly I really liked Takasugi's English voice, even though Kyle pretty much voiced a shit ton of other characters in the movie, which it's not really that important, but still, I like this Takasugi. I still like, you know, the Japanese performance, but again, I kind of like, you know, Kyle Jones' performance as Takasugi a little bit more than Takehito Koyasu's performance in the Japanese dub. But yeah, as far as the dub's concerned, the voices are pretty good, especially Catherine and Takasugi. One thing I did notice in the dub, which honestly I don't know why they decided to keep this, but they decided to keep the honorifics that are present in the Japanese version and carried it over to the dub. And what I mean by honorifics, you know how you're watching the show in Japanese and you have certain characters addressing other characters as Kun, San, Tan, Shan, Sama, all those other stuff. And just, yeah, like, it just felt weird just hearing those in English. It's just, it doesn't fit well. Like, why did they keep it? Were they lazy enough to say, you know, Mr. instead of San? Like because in especially Shinpachi, he keeps saying, there are multiple times in the movie where he just repeatedly says Gin-san. It's like, why? And then Kagura-chan and Katsura-san, and then I don't know, like, it doesn't sound right in English. Like, why? Like, just that's one part of the dub that just irked me. Like, them using the honorifics that are present in the Japanese version. Because in most English dubs, they obviously don't use the honorifics. Instead, they will translate the honorifics. Like, say like, you know, there's some person known as Amaki-san. They'll pretty much, in an English dub, they'll call him Mr. Amaki. Like, what the fuck, son? Thing I would like to mention is that there are some mispronunciations, like, occasionally in the movie, such as, there's one point in the movie where, Otae, for anyone who watches Gintama, Otae, Shinpachi's sister, pronounced Kagura's name as Kagura. There was this one guy that pronounced Gintoku's last name as Sakata instead of Sakata, and then that chick with the pistol pronounces Takasugi's first name as damn, I forgot how she pronounced it, but it was Shinsuke. There we go. She pronounced that Shinsuke instead of Shinsuke, which really I'm not really gonna go on them just for, you know, mispronouncing, you know, Japanese words, because one, they're not Japanese, so I didn't expect, you know, them to, you know, pronounce every single Japanese word correctly. Maybe they obviously didn't have someone in the studio to tell them exactly how to say a certain word, or pronounce a certain word rather. But yeah, like I said, this is the first time Gintama has been dubbed. So yeah, I mean, it would have been. I didn't expect them to, you know, mispronounce some words, but at the same time, I'm not really that much of a surprise. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there so that you guys wouldn't, you know, go ape shit just because they pronounce Kagura's name as Kakura. If I had to give the dub a score, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Mainly because, for the reasons I've already stated in this video, there were some voices that were just kind of iffy in my opinion, and I'm really not going to count the the mispronunciations, because honestly, yeah, they're not Japanese, and I doubt they didn't have anyone to tell them how to pronounce certain words, and they're obviously, and just based off the performance, they're pretty much just sounding off the Japanese words. But yeah, overall the dub is fine. I honestly didn't expect it to be Cowboy Bebop status. Yeah, so 8 out of 10 is a fine score in my opinion. Sadly, there aren't really that much extras on this movie other than your common trailers for other shows by Sentai Filmworks, which is a shame, because I would think they would at least be able to produce a outtake or two, but maybe due to time constrictions they weren't able to, because I honestly expected they would at least do an outtake track, because it's seeing how it's being commented, I would think they could have fun with it. You can buy this movie off of Amazon, Right Stuff, or at your local DVD and Blu-ray retailer. Anyway, that's all I gotta say for my review of Gintama the movie. I want to thank you guys again for watching this video. Thumbs up or favorite the video if you liked this review that much. And yeah, this is the San6782. Thank you guys for watching again, and I will see you guys in my next video.